Good morning. This is the Fanatic, William D. McGee Jr., here in San Antonio, Texas, talking again on February 21st, Tuesday morning. I want to talk to you today a little bit about what I see in my 61 years, I'll be 61 this year, living in this country and abroad. I told you in my previous videos that Donald Trump either was acting crazy, acting like he had no clue of what was going on, but really he does. And he's been using media, whether they call it fake media or any other media, to his advantage. Staying in their spotlight. As long as he has them focus on him, they are not focusing on what's taking place around the world until after it's happened. Now, what kind of strategy is that? That is a great strategy. And he surrounds himself with all these retired generals who specialize in strategic thought. Because Donald Trump, for those who don't know, was in a military academy. No, he never served in the military. No, he never was in any war, but he was in a military academy. His parents made sure he went to one. And he specialized in manipulating everyone else to do his job. And he got the glory, and they were the ones who were actually doing the work. And nothing has changed since then. Nothing. He's still the same. Donald is still the same. I'm going to say Donald Trump. Donald is doing just what Donald has always done. Manipulate his way throughout his whole life. If it's not focused on Donald, then Donald says it's wrong. Right now, he surrounds himself with white, Caucasian males, alpha males, white, Caucasian, alpha females. And all the other ones that are around him, they're not alpha, but they are beta, sex created. See, beta is a sexual programmed person or female. Programmed to serve as alpha males or alpha females, depending on who it is. But I don't want to get into that right now. I want to talk a little bit more about Donald Trump and his agenda. His agenda, like I told you before, you have two agendas that was going on behind the scenes with the elites, with the Illuminati, with the family of 300. Now, you could have the Hillary, the Obama, the Clinton, Hillary's husband, the Clinton, that agenda, which is keep things hidden from the American people at a slow pace. Or we can allow Donald Trump to get in, and he will escalate it or elevate it at a faster pace to get the same results. And the same results are, how do we take and bring chaos into America? How do we... When's the last time that you actually took a look at what's going on in Syria? Not about who's fighting and who's this. Look at the way everything is left. You have everything in shambles and people just barely struggling. So you have no sense of government there. You have a monarch, you have a dictator running the show. That's exactly what's going to happen here. That's exactly what's going to happen in America. Little do you know that. Give him 4 years, and in 4 years, he's going to have so much going on among all the Americans that nobody's going to know what to do. You're going to look outside your window, and there's going to be fighting in the streets. Racial, religious, pro-government, pro this, and non-pro. You're going to have the cons against the pros. Okay? You're going to have those supporting the government, and you're going to have those that are not supporting the government. The Trumpsters against the rest of the world. These are the ones who's going into those cemeteries and knocking down the the Jewish headstones. Why? Because they believe in neo-Nazism. That is one of Steve O'Bannon's key areas. All this is being done in the cloak of under the White House, saying, one hand, we disapprove. But guess what? They approve of it. Because they're telling you one thing and doing another thing. So the American people now cannot rely on the news. No, because the news, you never could rely on it in from the start. Because the news has been tainted from previous CIA agendas. Operation Mockingbird, CBS, William Paley, trained, groomed, Stanford, MIT. See, when people go to these various schools, MIT, Stanford, Research Institute, they're not going there to do, but they're going there to learn and be reprogrammed into that system so that they can be used for a bigger system. William Paley, as I say again, CBS, NBC, ABC, all of these news stations have to go through British intelligence, MI6, and all the other ones before any information can be released to the public. That's what our media and the media around the world is going through. That's why when they go in to get news on specific issues, they have to go to a news pool. They just can't roll up there, even though you got CNN and you got these other Fox News networks and all these other little entities. You cannot find one that is telling you the whole truth. And when you do find one that's telling you the whole truth, well, guess what? You can rest assured that they will be hunted down and destroyed. So if you want to know what's really going on, then you need to find out for yourself. And you're not going to find out for yourself on the internet. Yeah, you've got to go on there as you're using a library. Okay? You can't believe everything on the internet because a lot of stuff is put out to throw you off the path that God has you on. Now, same in religion. You got to know what it is that God has put in you to find out. You can't run to a church and think that the pastor or the bishops or any of those are going to tell you what you need to know when it comes to God, because God is a relationship between you and him. In the past, America and around the world has been put into a religious ship, okay? And that you have to go through someone to get to God. You don't have to go through anyone, because you are the church. You are the church. You are the church that God is building. Okay? He don't use buildings. He never has. Even after Christ had left, even after Yeshua had left, the new believers and followers of him were found at their homes. Nothing has changed because they're still there. These are the things that you, as a believer, not as a Baptist, a Methodist, Episcopalian, or any of those religions or religious affiliations or denominations, even the Muslims, even the Buddhists, even the whatever other religions, they are believers. It's time that you step away from your religious affiliation and start becoming believers in God, what you've been taught, not what they've been trying to get you to come up under, saying you have to be a Muslim, you have to be this, you have to believe in that. Allah is another name for God. Allah is another name. We have Christians that go in and knock off people. First they go in and come and say, we come in the name of the Lord. Yet after they get in and they come in, they survey the whole thing and they report back to those who sent them in. And then the next thing you know, that religion in there is faded out, and you have a new religion, which is coming to say, what is your GDP? I've been on a little bit too long, but I'm going to go. Next time we're going to talk about that. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Peace be with you until we meet again.